Hello and welcome back to another episode of Rawcaster, your dose of thought-provoking and relatable content in its rawest form. Let's go.
Whoa, whoa, why? Ooh, la, oh, yes, I am.
In today's episode, I will be interviewing a very special guest, my mum. But before we begin, I'm going to explore the paradox of barrel children. This term was coined by Dr. Crawford Brown in the 1990s to describe the occurrence of a parent or parents immigrating from the Caribbean, Asia, or Africa to countries such as Canada, the United States of America, or the United Kingdom, in search of job opportunities, for economic stability, and to provide a better life for their children and family back home. This is a common theme that still takes place today, with the departing parents having the intention of eventually reuniting to their family back home. However, what effect does this common practice have on the children that are left behind? Many are oblivious to the everlasting effect this experience has on family ties and the child's emotional development, as children are often separated from their parents for many, many years, receiving barrels of necessities including food, clothing and money, while the absence of maternal and paternal care lingers. So without further ado, let's jump into the interview. What do you remember about growing up in Jamaica?
I was actually very, very happy. I loved, that memory of Jamaica, that's what kept me alive. I remember my grandparents were extremely kind, extremely loving. My grandmother's family was, we were just a basic, tight family. So whatever my grandmother had, she shared it with them. Whatever little they had, they shared it. And this is how I grew. This is what I loved. It was just a tight family unit.
It seems that the importance of family was valued and upheld while you were growing up in Jamaica. So, how did you feel about coming to the UK as a child?
I was excited when I found out that my grandmother was looking after the passport, looking after the pictures, all the documents for me to come. As a child, I was really excited. I started saying to my cousins around me, "Oh, I'm going to get that for you. I'm going to send this for you." Really, really excited. I was, yeah, and I wanted to see my real mom because I knew my grandmother wasn't my real mom by that age. So I wanted to see my brothers, my sisters. So, yeah, I can say I was excited.
What was your experience when you first came to the UK in 1969?
My first experience was at the airport. I travelled on the plane on my own and then come off the airport. The stewardess brought me down to be picked up by my mother. So I'm there standing up with the stewardess, and I looked across and I saw this woman waving. But I don't know my mother. This is the first time I set eyes on her. But I didn't realize it was her. So I'm standing there looking at this woman, not responding. And then the stewardess said to me, "Dad, there's your mum. So I just stood there. First time meeting her, I just stood there. And she came over, and then the stewardess handed me over to her. So when the stewardess left, she said to me, "Didn't you see me waving at you? Didn't you see me waving at you?" So I said, "Yes." She said, "Yes, what?" So I was just in shock. I thought, huh? I didn't know how to respond, so I didn't say anything. So she said, you're cheeky. It seems like you're cheeky. Anyway, then she took me my uncle, no, I think it was my brother, it was my older brother came to pick me up with her. So then I met my brother, and then, yeah, then we drove back. Yeah, that was my first meeting her. And so I was a bit not sure about her after that meeting at the airport. My chin started to drop because I'm thinking, what is this? Then we got back to the house, met my four younger siblings, and they were all excited, jumping around me, jumping around me. But I was like, not sure now, not sure I want to be here now, not sure. I need my grandmother.
It's bizarre that your mother expected you to have an immediate connection with her. You was 13 when you arrived and you had no recollection of your mother up until that point. But did you eventually grow close to your family in the UK?
I can honestly say I didn't. Actually, I became withdrawn. I went into myself now because I started to miss my family, my grandmother, my grandfather, or my cousins. It's a different way of life. You're locked in, you're inside the house. In Jamaica, I was outside. You wake up in the morning, you're outside. Oh, here, I found that if you're not at school, you're inside. You go shopping, you come back, you're inside. I never played out. On one day, yeah, I went outside with them. She told me to watch them. And then it began to rain. So the difference was in Jamaica, when it's raining, we play in the rain. We love the rain. We play in the rain. And then after the rain, we go and we have a bath and we change our clothes. Here now, she came out, and that was the first time she actually smacked me because she said, it's raining and you've got the kids, you have got your brothers and sisters in the rain playing, because they wanted to go in. They said, come on, it's raining. And I said, no, it's okay, just let's play. And so we stayed in the rain, and then she was really angry. She goes, look, you've got them in the rain playing. What's going on? And she clapped me a couple of times. And that was the first time she actually clapped me. And that broke my spirit. I just withdrew because then I started to miss my family, miss my grandmother. I didn't want to come out of my room, but I had to. And so I was seen as a cheeky, rude child. And then she started saying things about my grandmother, that my grandmother spoiled me. And no, my grandmother didn't. She's sorry that she left me with her grandmother. She didn't want to. It was meant she wanted to leave me with her older sister, but her older sister couldn't look after me. So she had to leave me with my grandmother, offered, and she left me with my grandmother. Oh my God, the relationship between me and her just totally broke down. Totally broke. I just wouldn't speak. So when if she called me, if I'm not in the room and she called me, I would say yes, because I couldn't bring myself to say, yes, mummy. Then when I come to her now, she would say, come here, come here. And when I'm in front of her, she would say, yes, what? And I'd say, yes, because I can't say mummy, because as far how I felt, my mummy was in Jamaica, or my dad was in Jamaica. So I knew she was my mother, but I couldn't say mummy. And then a couple times I got smacking for that. Because she said, you're rude, you're totally rude. I'm calling you, you're saying yes. And I said, yes, what? Yes. So, yeah, she would clap me. And then that begin to build up in me. So I thought, who's this person smacking me? My grandmother never smacked me. Why is this person smacking me? So I just I used to analyze it, and I thought, this woman don't like me. She don't know me. She don't like me. And I didn't, I just felt alone amongst all my peers. I just felt alone, totally alone.
Dealing with the inability to assimilate into your family in the UK, as well as adapting to cultural differences, what were your experiences outside of the family home?
So when I started school, I started secondary school. So I was 13, yeah. So I got on with most. Well, there was about from what I can remember, there were about four black girls. Yeah, there were four black girls, four and me, so that's five. So we all automatically was stick. To, we just came together. When I came, they welcomed me, and yeah, so they were my friends. And then I didn't have much problems with the kids. I got on with the most of the kids. There was this one particular boy. Um, yeah, every time he saw me, he said to me, "Get back on the jam jar." So I wasn't used to that expression, so I didn't know what he meant. So he said it. He said it about 3 times because we had like a couple of lessons together. So I knew it wasn't something nice. I knew that, but I wasn't sure. So when I got home, I said to my older brother, um, "This boy at school keeps telling me to get back on the jam jar." So my brother was shocked. He said, "What?" He said, "What did you do?" I said, I didn't do anything. I don't know what he's talking about, but I know it's something rude." So he said to me, "Okay, the next time when you go back to school and if he says it to you again, just hit him." So I said, "What? Just hit him?" He said, "Yeah, because it's racist, it's rude. He said he took a jam jar actually from the fridge and he said, that's what he's telling you you are. You're a little gollywog because there's a little black gollywog on the jam jar." And I thought, okay. And then I got the drift now. I thought, okay, so he's telling me I'm a gollywog. So what am I doing there? I should be on the jam jar. My brother said yes. So when I got to school the next day, there he was again. "Get back on the jam jar." And as my brother told me to do, I hit him. And then we started fighting. And it was such a big fight. The teacher that was taking the class couldn't bring it under control, couldn't stop it. She could not. So she tried, but I was in such a temper because I was so upset that this boy is telling me to get back on the jam jar, and I'm a gollywog, basically. So anyway, we was taken to the headmaster, and I put my case to the headmaster, and then we started fighting again inside the headmaster's office. And the headmaster said no. So he called my mum. Mum had to come out from work. The boy was taken out and put somewhere else. I don't know where. And I was held in his office until my mum came. And then she came and then I told my story. And then my mum said to the headmaster, "Well, that is definitely not on. She's not a gollywog and she shouldn't be called a gollywog in the class or anywhere else for that matter." And anyway, the boy was expelled, I think. I'm not sure if it was a week he was off school for. And I don't know what happened, what else what was done to him or whatever. But when he came back, it never happened again. He never done it again. That was the first trouble I had. The second trouble I had was with one of my peers. I saw her as a bully and she was bullying one of my other friends. So I said to my friend, she hit my friend and my friend was just standing there sulking. So I said, "Hit her back." So my friend said, "Look, she's big. She's much bigger than me, Beth. She's going to kill me." So I said, "No, I'll help you." So my friend, she said to my friend, "Come and hit me then. Come and hit me." So then she said to me, "If you don't like it, you come and hit me." And then she hit me. So we had another fight again. That was a huge fight down the stairs into the because the school was in two parts, one old side and one new side. So you have to come out the old side. So we fight going down the stairs. I don't know how we didn't hurt ourselves. And then we come outside, and then the teachers, that's when they managed to break it up and to the headmaster again. But those were the only two altercation that I had in that school.
I'm sure that no one troubled you in school after that. Did you experience or witness any other racist occurrences in England in the 1970s?
Yeah, I did witness it. I think some of the times I witnessed it, I didn't realize what it was. Because as I said, in Jamaica, we don't have that. So this was my first time. So my neighbors were racist. And as I get older and I'm beginning to understand what racism is, I look back and I realize how racist that man was. We as kids, the garden, my brother's ball would go over. My younger brother kick the ball over, and he would that was you could hear him actually saying it, and I would laugh because I didn't realize. And then one day he wouldn't. My brother said, "Can I have my ball back?" And he said, "No, not having to keep kicking the ball over here." Anyway, so my brother went and told my dad. So my dad went next door at the front to knock the door to ask for the ball. And he wouldn't open the door. So my dad went to the back garden now and shouted. So my dad used to call him Eddie Booth because my dad says he's racist. He's like Eddie Booth, the program that we used to watch on the TV. So my dad said, Eddie Booth, give the ball back. And he come out and he was saying some horrible things to us. So my dad was there arguing with him. So my mum, she said, what? So she said to him, come to the front, I need to talk to you. So he came out his door and there was a lid outside our front door. My mum, as he came out his door, my mum was waiting for him with the lid in her hand and she just, bam, knocked him with the lid. And but even now, me and my sisters still talk about it. Eddie, my sister would say to me, do you remember Eddie Booth, babe? And I said, of course I do. You can't forget him. And she said, oh my God, it was so hilarious with that man. Yes, I remember another time we used to get the train from Cricklewood to Neasden station. So as we come out of the station, our four younger siblings in front of me, always put them in front of me. So as we cross Neasden Lane, coming down to our road, we heard. So we looked around, and it was skinheads. At those days, there were skinheads. I can't remember how much of them, but it was more than 4 of them, a group. So I said to my brothers and sisters, run, because the next road was ours. So we didn't have far. Luckily, we didn't have far. So they started running. I said, skinhead, run. So they run, and the brother that followed me, he was a fast runner. So I said to him, Mike, when you get to the door, just knock the door quickly. So we managed. They were coming down the hill. It's sort of a hill. We have to go down the hill, and we go on our road and we run. And then by the time the rest of us get to the door, because Mike was the fastest one, as we got to the door, my older brother was standing at the door, and he said, what's going on? And I said, skinheads are chasing us. And he said, okay. And his car was parked right outside the door. So he just opened the lid, the boot, and he took something out. And he said to my younger ones, he said to all of us actually, go inside and shut the door. My mum wasn't at home, my mum was at work, and my dad was at work. But I said, no, I'm not going in, I'm staying out here with you. So my other brother that followed me, he said, no, I'm not going in either. So he pushed the other 3 inside, and he pulled the door shut. And there comes these guys. I can't remember how much of them, but it was loads of them. And when they saw my brother now, they sort of stopped, but they still coming. And my brother said, "Come, come." And then they came up to us. And then there was what? So it was my older brother, it was me, and my younger brother that followed me. And it was one piece of fight at the door. At the door. I'm telling you, it was one piece of fight. But we're still alive. We got away alive, and they ended up running, scattering over the road, running. And then my brother said, "Okay." And then we went inside and we closed the door. Yeah, but that was I nearly forgot that. That was really dramatic. But as a child, now I'm thinking of it, it's really dramatic. But as a child, it was nothing. It was just another day.
Wow, children being chased by racist mobs, just another day. As an adult now, looking back, how did coming to the UK impact your life?
Yeah, as an adult now, I can actually see and that my mom meant well. She did not understand about the impact on children and how leaving me in Jamaica with my grandparents, I've actually bonded with them, and then uprooting me, bringing me here to an extended family that's always been around her. She didn't know anything about my ways, my behavior, the way so everything I did, she took it negatively. So, yeah, and that impacted on me. Yeah, it was harsh. It was harsh. And I'm very lucky to be, to be, to not being labeled as not got him at, I'm very lucky not to get myself in serious trouble because it was traumatic. I would actually say it was actually traumatic as a child, not understanding. Now I can understand. I can understand it from her point, and I can see clearly that she meant well. She did. She meant well. But at that time, all I saw was me. She brought me here to look after the younger ones, to help her, and then to leave school at 16, go straight into work, not to stay on at school because I wanted to stay on at school. My teacher asked for me to stay on at school, and I was made to leave and go straight into work and then bring my wage packet home, hand it over without even opening it, and check if the money in the packet was right. And by then she was ill. By then the heart started playing up and everything. She got ill. So yeah, it was traumatic. That experience for me was very, very traumatic. And I'm now 64 years old, and I can really sit down and put everything into compartments and see that she didn't really meant to harm me. But it was just the situation that they were in. And yeah, because she actually wanted to send me back because I got down and down and down. We wasn't getting on. I didn't even know how to communicate with her because I couldn't call her mom. So that was a problem. So she called my uncle to talk to him about sending me back, and he advised her not to because the same thing happened with his son, and he sent him back, and he said he regretted sending him back. So he advised my mom not to send me back. But I really wanted to go back to my grandparents. So when my uncle said, "No, don't do that. That's not the right thing to do," I was very sad. But yeah, but I've forgiven. Yeah, because at one point I really was upset with her. I thought, she doesn't love me. How can you do that to a child? But as the years go on, and I'm an adult myself, I've got children myself, I can sit down and I can work through it. And I realized that she didn't mean any harm. She saved that money, she sent for me, And she sent for me with the intention that I would help her with the younger kids until they get older, for her to pay her mortgage and buy the food and blah, blah, blah. So I realized she didn't mean no harm, but it was awful for me at the time coming, and no one to talk to.
Your voice is definitely being heard now, and hopefully your experience can ignite conversations amongst other families who have endured similar circumstances and provide awareness of the potential repercussions of this common practice. Thank you, Mum, for your candid account of coming to the UK from Jamaica, and thank you all for tuning in. Share your experiences in the comment section below and at Rawcaster on Instagram. Peace.
Yes, ooh, I met a girl this morning. She was love at first sight.